Going on, today I have another video for you with a 91.6% accuracy. I played pretty well. I want to share this game. They went c4, I go e6, they go knight c3, pawn to d5, and pawn to d4. Although I was confused at first playing against the English, this transposed into a queen's game and declined very quickly. I go knight here to f6, pawn here to g3. Actually, I think it's the Catalan setup. I go bishop e7, bishop to g2, I castle, they go knight f3, and I go pawn to c6. This is the queen's game and decline. I have a 53% win rate. One of my best open. I think I've talked about I love playing the queen's game and decline from the black side. It feels like the opening has purpose. It has very simple ideas for me to follow, which is why I think I do so well in it. They go pawn here to c5, which is a mistake, and I don't even think I responded correctly. I go a5 when I should have went b6 immediately. I think it's a similar idea because they go b4, I can still go a5, and they can't go a3 due to the rook, the bishop still being on the starting square and the queen not protecting it. So I saw the idea, but the wrong move order. They go knight here to a4. I go knight b to d7. Although bringing the other knight back is better. I don't know what humans finding that. Honestly, I really, even a master, I feel like that's kind of hard to see because the idea is you want to protect that square. Why that knight is better is beyond me. I want to see if I can just maybe show the moves here. Oh, you can't even show moves. It's just a better move. But they go bishop f4. I go pawn here to b6. Now I should have went b5. I don't think I would have ever played that because I don't like that they have the pawn here on c5 and I want to get it off the board. They take, I take, they take, I take, and we've traded off the side, and I have a c5 pawn push unstoppable as I have two pieces that will guard that square. And when they move a piece, no matter whatever piece they do move, I can move my pawn forward still because if they take the pawn, take with the bishop, and if they don't have one attacker then and I have one defender, they couldn't take it. They go queen here to c2, however, although offering a queen trade was better, they missed that, and I push c5, which is not the best move, but I'd probably play this again as I want to play a chess game with as few weaknesses as possible at the earliest convenience of the game. Now, bishop a6 is a good move, and I do play it eventually, but to me, it was more important to just get rid of this backwards pawn and then make a winning move from there. But they go bishop here to e3. I take the pawn, they take, and I give a check here on b4, which is the best move. And I feel it's a very important move. Moving the queen back here just feels slow. It's unnecessary. And going there, forcing them to go back and then bishop to a6. And as I said, it was a good move. I just played in a different order. My bishops are staring at their side of the board. I have an open file on the c file. I have an open file I can attack, which is the c file, and the white queen is there. They castle. I go rook to c8, as I mentioned, which is the open file. They go queen to d2, which is a huge mistake. Now, this has an accuracy, but this is when the game is over, honestly. I go knight to e4, which is not even the best move, but the best move was taking. However, as I say, you should go with what is the easiest for you. Now, honestly, I didn't know this was the better move. I thought that the knight was the better move, but even knowing this, it's simpler to see how this is winning for me, at least with knight to e4. I'm triple attacking the bishop and attacking the pawn on e2. There's just so many weaknesses. They go queen to f4. I take the pawn here. Again, I didn't know the other move was better, but I'm not mad at my decision, as this is pretty simple as how I'm winning. I'm going to win multiple pawns or pieces just because the rook here is being attacked, so they have to move the rook, right? But the bishop is still being triple attacked right now. So if they don't move the rook and protect the bishop, I'll take the rook. If they move the rook, I'll take the bishop and another pawn. I'll be up 2 pawns. Either way, it's completely winning. They do bishop captures g7 though, which kind of threw me off, honestly. I didn't feel that this was an amazing, it's the third best move. So clearly they saw something I didn't. My thought process here was, well, there's just no checkmate, which is the problem. So I take the bishop, they go knight in, but if you can look at it, there's no configuration here where they can win. What they love here is a dark square bishop, funnily enough, but they just traded that off. But my bishop here controls the g4 square, right? Now knight controls the g5 square, so there's just no way they can get it in. I go bishop here to d2, which is the best move. The reason this is so good is there's no way to block it, and there's only one safe move, which is queen to h4, and they do find it. But if you can see, I'm cutting off like every check possible, so it doesn't matter. So I take the rook, as I just don't see a checkmate. They take the knight here. I will say it does make you have to, well, it doesn't make me think for that long, but you have to be careful as if you decide to do something else besides take the bishop, it is checkmate on h7. So I'll take the bishop back, and after knight in, I take the pawn, which is another important move in me getting materialistic and greedy here. If I go, I don't know, like anywhere else pretty much, queen to f6 is kind of checkmate. I think if they go queen f6, I'd have, oh, it's not even checkmate. I was going to say queen f6, king g8, queen g5, king h8, but they can't even do that because of bishop. Yeah, I don't even think I had to, but this was the simplest. I attack the rook and I protect the square here on f6 to stop anything. They do rook captures f1, I do rook fd8, and they actually resign here as the knight is also trapped, which is kind of funny. They can't go anywhere with the knight. If they go knight to e5, I take it. Knight to c5, I take it. Knight to b6, I take it. Knight to f6, I take it. Knight f8, I take it. It has all these squares, but none of them are open, and they resign because the only thing they could do to try and delay it is queen to g4, but after king h8, there's just no checkmate, especially because I control this diagonal. There's just really nothing they can do, so they just give up the game, as they would have been down a rook and a bishop and a pawn, I think. So yeah, it just made no sense to continue, and they resigned as I mentioned. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this recap. This is a shorter game, only 24 moves, but I played really good, so that's why it was short. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good one.